All right, so welcome. I am Jewel Marin, and this is Spirit and Manifestation. And I'm going to be speaking about the role spirit plays in manifestation, how it helps, and how to best engage it. This is not a new idea. This is taught traditionally in manifestation classes about the role of spirit. And it's traditionally taught as a benefactor. The universe will give to you, the universe will provide. That is definitely a way that spirit is ascribed in manifestation is as the bigger universe around you, the unseen forces within the universe, let's say. And I'm going to speak about that. I'm going to speak about that, and I'm also going to speak about another way that that the universe is, which is inside you as you. Which I don't think I'm saying anything new on either of those points, but how I'm speaking about them and how to engage them is a little bit different. And hopefully, it will leave you feeling a little more empowered and a little less worried that you did or said the wrong thing, and that's why this bad thing happened to you. Because that's my complaint about how manifestation is traditionally taught with the universe and with spirit is that think positive, because the spirit is this amorphous glorious thing that rewards good thoughts. um if bad things happen to you, you didn't think positive enough, you didn't try hard enough, you didn't something. And I'd like to dispel that a little bit. I'd like to let bad things happen in life while you're still being a really good manifester, and we're going to talk about all of that. So first of all, just to kind of reshape how we view the universe, I really like to say that it is a child or a reflection, not a provider, not a resource. And what I mean by that is there is a childlike quality to the universe, um, which it can give you what you give it, but it can't give you anything you don't show up with first. It's a receiver, it's a recipient. And that childlike quality has to be honored, because when we change it to the resource, when we make it the universe will provide for you, then we're saying, well, my children will take care of me. And maybe they will when you're older and they've gotten to a certain point, but they're not going to do it when they're born. And that's the level we're working with here. We're working with, let's say, a 3 to 5 year old consciousness. And that's, I'm not for our understanding, let's say it like that. I'm not saying it's literally that, but for our understanding of how best to engage it, let's call it a 3 to 5 year old. And what that means is your job is to teach it how you want to be treated by how you treat yourself and how you treat the people around you and your environment. And how, so you are the provider in this arrangement. You are the giver. And this is why a lot of people struggle so much, because they don't have basic needs met. They're trying to get them met. And then the universe is just bringing back more and more of that need, because that's what they're showing up with. What you show up with is what is mirrored back to you. So I talk about the universe as inside you, or not universe, but spirit as inside you, or source inside you. And that's the piece of working with spirit where you can then get what you need from inside and then give to your environment, the universe around you, and then it will start to reflect back what you most want to experience in life, because that's what you're able to. But it's like you have to get it first. You have to get it from inside you first. You can't get it from around you. This is, I'm trying to see, my head just got crowded with everything I wanted to say. I wrote it all out, and it's like, but I want to make this so clear. Um, it it is learning from you. You are the teacher, you are the provider, you are the adult. And just as every adult has needs and needs to and is has an interdependence, you're not in this alone. um if you have strong alignment in yourself, the same way children love to give, they love to be helpful, they want to help you, that's how the universe will be. It wants to help you so badly. There's nothing more helpful than a toddler, because they want to help you clean, they want to help you cook, they want to help you do whatever you're doing. The difference between the universe and an actual toddler is the universe is really good at it. So you just got to coach it the same way you do a toddler. But the universe, I mean, I do laundry with my 3-year-old and I have to redo whatever she did, but I'm really glad that she wants to help me. The universe, well, it's not going to do my laundry for me, but it will certainly show up for me when I show up for it. And when I show in love and care to my environment, to my clothing, to what I have, it will go, oh, this is someone that gives love and care, that likes to receive love and care. I can give love and care here. So nothing is too small for you to treat well to have that benefit there. So we're going into, okay, there's something inside me that can meet my needs. It's not external, it's internal. That has to be understood because this is a cliche, like the answer is inside you or what have you. But we do not, we are given lip service to that all our lives, but then we're then told, but buy this thing, go here, do this, and you'll get what you really want. So we're given lip service, we're given the cliche of the answer is inside you, and then the action is, but go out and get it from the things around you. And this is a little bit of a how to actually get it from inside you and how to meet your needs. So there's another talk I gave a few weeks ago on the benefits of negative feelings or unpleasant feelings. And what I talk about there is they're like an empty cup. I'll hold up my hand so you can see. It's a vessel that you can then receive from inside you what you need. So the negative feelings, the difficulty, whatever you're struggling with, is asking for something. And when you turn it inward, then the spirit inside of you can answer it. And then you can give that gift to the world around you, to your environment, to the spirit outside of you, that you perceive as outside of you. I'll say it that way. So you have an inner well that lives inside. That's spirit. That's where spirit lives. That's where you connect with it. And then you give that, you receive from there, and then you give outside, and you only receive from there. That's the other thing. Whatever we experience people being kind to us, loving toward us, everything. It's all reflection. It's all already inside you. And we cannot perceive it if it doesn't exist inside us. So if you want something, it's inside. If you need something, it's inside. If you like something, it's inside. If you don't like something, it's inside. It's all there. You don't perceive it otherwise. So the things that you need are, you can feel them, you can sense them, you can reach for them because you can sense them inside of you, within you. And it's a case of finding it. And that is stillness. That's quiet. That's meditation. That's listening to music that you really like that helps you tune into yourself. That's taking a walk. That's doing a practice that works for you, where you feel more centered, more balanced, more here. That is attuning you to the quiet inside, the resource inside. There's a resource inside of you, and it's nowhere else. You won't find it anywhere else. I really want to emphasize that. The spirit, how I'm defining this, spirit lives inside, and you will only find it inside. I hope this makes sense. The universe, the provider that you experience outside of you, it's mirroring. Now here I talk about spirit, like my hypothesis that I've tested in my life, so far it's proven true, is that we are here to evolve. I don't know why, but this reflection process seems to be about refinement. So we show up, we've got our karma, which is whatever we have decided we need to work out while we're here on earth. And then the mirror effect is it gets emphasized and amplified in our life until we can't avoid it anymore. So whatever it is that you have to deal with in your life will get amplified until you just have to deal with it. And the universe will do nice things and it will do not nice things because it doesn't have a bias that way. It's like, well, this will serve it. Well, this will serve it. Well, this will serve it. And it gets its cues by how you show up. And again, I'm going to say, when you tune into spirit inside you, a higher self, deeper self, there's a lot of meditations out there around it. I teach some in my class on manifestation. When you bring spirit to the table, when you lead with it, when you bring it from inside you out, then it's like everything gets quieter, it gets simpler, it gets easier. When you bring that source inside out, which is like tuning into it, then all the noise of what pulls you, what distracts you, what you think you want, it gets very quiet. And it's like, oh, this is needed. Here I go. And you get very simple. It gets simpler. I think simple is a really good word here. Things get simpler when you get quieter, when you slow down, when you take your time and you listen inside yourself and you listen to what's around you. So you're not you're not pushing for anything. When there's something you want that's not currently in your life, you slow down, you listen, you take your time, you ask what's needed, and it's not a problem. It's not a bad thing because spirit, it doesn't judge. It's all good. It's neutral. It's all neutral. So if you can listen to it without getting judgmental about it, going, that means this about me. I wish I hadn't done that. What's wrong with me? Or, oh, it's so good that that happened. That means I'm really getting this stuff now. Um, Anything that's a judgment disconnects you from spirit, disconnects you from the source, and puts you into this climbing, trying to get something from what's the environment around you. A thing that I really, in my level 2 manifestation class, I really try to teach is how it's all being generated from inside you, and helping people really see and understand that their thoughts, their feelings, their experience is all being generated from internal. It's all being generated from spirit, from that greater energy inside that we can't see, but it's projecting forward and we are picking up on it. Yeah, that question about positive encouragement. You know, positive encouragement is wonderful. Someone asked, is positive encouragement disconnecting you? No. But when you're truly connected to spirit, you don't need it, if that makes sense. It's, how do I put this? I teach a class on how to transform the inner critic and create an inner coach and an inner cheerleader. I have a really excellent positive encourager inside me that will speak up whenever I need it. It's like I'm driving and I'm a little nervous and it starts being like, you can do this. You've driven a lot. You can handle blah, 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 blah. Like it kind of coaches me through it. It's very beneficial, but that's like, it's not exactly spirit, but it's something you're training with the help of spirit to help. But what I'm talking about is it's like something good happens in your life and now it's like, oh, I'm such a good person because I did this thing, and now I'm making it about you and an affirmation of something that you don't quite believe but you want to. If that makes sense. But that encouraging inner cheerleader voice is excellent because that's helping you achieve something. That's helping you, that's working with you in alignment with your goals. And that's some of that comes from conscious attunement. I would like this to happen, and you're working inside yourself to connect with it. And then there might be an encouraging voice that shows up out of that request, or that you, I don't want to say you practice it. For me, it kind of showed up on its own. I wasn't expecting it. It was like I was doing something that kind of scared me, and suddenly this little voice in my head started being like, "You can do it. You can do it," like just kind of taking me there. So, but that came through me letting go of the fear of, like, the fear, the anger, the shame, whatever that is, which I talk a lot about how to do in my other classes. But here I'm going to say, when you turn to source inside, then you connect to spirit, and then you can relax, not worry so much about if you're achieving something or not, because you get neutral too. Spirit is neutral. You tune into spirit, you get neutral. You're less biased about if something should or shouldn't be the way it is. You can see it more clearly, and you can attend to it as its needs. So I speak of spirit as a child, that little childlike innocent observation. um yeah, yeah. yeah, spirit helps that click. A child, a reflection, and an inner well. And another point that I want to make about spirit is it in that being a child and the reflection is it likes to be treated the way we like to be treated. That whole golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated, everything around you that you can perceive is part of the same fabric. And when you treat, it's like, it, I got the image of a tapestry and like threads in the tapestry. How you treat one thread is how you treat the entire tapestry. Because if you pull out one thread, you create a hole in the entire tapestry. So how you treat one thing is how you treat everything. And that thing, like the way we like to be treated, we like people to respect our time. We like people to honor their word. We like people to be nice to us. I had the experience of someone, um, I I have no judgment. I hold love for her, but we tried to schedule to get together a few times for our kids to play together, and she would be an hour or two late, and she couldn't, like, it was like everything got thrown off. We tried like 2 or 3 times, and I finally was like, I, you know, it's too much havoc for my child, let alone me, or I guess me, let alone my child. I couldn't do it because I couldn't say we were going to go play with her friend and then have it not happen. I couldn't do that. And that's how the universe is. If you say you're going to do something, show up for it. Because here's another piece. So the way it was described to me once is it's like there's all these beings around us in the universe on this other side, and they want to help you, and they'll arrange amazing things. When you say you're going to do something, they'll make all these arrangements because you said you were going to be somewhere or do something, and they'll put all this work in and like plan a big party. And then if you don't go, that planning goes out the window and it gets lost. And if you do that like once, it's like, okay, we can still meet you. But if you repeatedly do that, it starts to go, well, I'm not going to try because I know you're not going to show up. So that's a reason for showing up with action. That's a reason for going where you say you're going to go. That's a reason for honoring whatever your commitment is. When you honor your commitments, that's a very high vibration, using that terminology, and it shows and demonstrates to the universe that you're there, that you'll show up for it, that you'll take care of it. And then it will go, oh, there's all this that I can do for you, and I can help you so much. And it will do that. And it comes from agreeing to show up where you say you're going to show up, and agreeing to do what you say you're going to do. It's that be honorable, be respectful. Yeah, yeah, and it will, like, you'll tune in, you'll click in. I like that term because uh, there's like an agreement to that deeper understanding of your greatness. And then when you show up, you fully show up, and you create, and you create change. Is this does this land? I want to make sure. I've kind of said a lot, and I always try and speak, I always try to organize it well, but I never know when I'm actually saying it, how it comes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this thing of working with spirit, if there's something you need, if there's something you really need, ask. If you change plans, is that not showing up? Uh, no, that's if you make it clear. So, there can be times like I've made plans before and I felt that it was wrong or off or something, and it's like, no, but let it be known. Like, you can cancel within 24 hours for pretty much anyone. like the same rules apply as if you were working with a person. So if you say you're going to do something, even if it's just to yourself, you're like, I'm going to go to this park or something, and then you're like, oh no, I'm not. Just make it clear, like, whatever that is. Maybe apologize to yourself, um but offer it with like love, like clarity, like, this is why, this person who I really tried to do stuff, they they were a no call, no show for my daughter's birthday party, and that was the end. That was like, okay, I'm not going to reach out to you again. And that's something to just have in mind, like, you can show up just by like making it clear what it is that's deterring you. Like, I'm not going to go because blank, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't something, you know. I mean, one thing, I want to do these talks every Sunday at 2. Consistency, regularity, there's a certain level there. I could do them at whatever was convenient for me and change the date and time every week, but consistency also adds up and it has a value to it. And not just for the people who are like, oh, I like this, I want to come, and you know when it is, but also just for that universe element of this day, this time, I'm here. But I'm not going to do this next week. It's the Sunday after Christmas, and while we're not all traveling and it's not a normal Christmas, it doesn't feel right to me. And when I sit with it, it's like, yeah, it's not right for me to do it next week. So that was an announcement I was going to make today. But I'm changing the plan. I'm not changing the consistency. I'm not changing my willingness to show up, but I'm saying it's not right for me to be here next week, but I will be here the week after. And if that changes, if something happens, because who knows, emergencies come up, all kinds of things come up, I'll let it be known. You know, I'm not just going to say, oh, it's at this time instead. I'll let it be known because I've made an agreement, somewhat informal. You know, no one else is asked to show up at this time besides me. I'm not making any demands, but I've made an agreement that this is the time and day that I'm here to do this. And so I'm here for whoever wants to be here with me. I'm here. And so that's what I'm letting it be known. And that's how I'm showing up. And then anything that's like that, you can always change your plans, but you do it in a respectful way. Hope that makes sense. And for me, I mean, I remember for a while I was doing martial art and I was really, really into it at first. And then my interest in it waned. And then I started not wanting to go to class and I'd make myself go anyway. I remember a couple of times feeling like, I really should go. I can feel it. There's something there. I said I would be there and I just didn't go. And then I'd find out, you know, they were doing photos that day or they were doing something else that was like, oh, that would have been really great if I had been there. And I kind of cut myself out of something that I'd agreed for. And it was a lesson to me. It's like, if I say I'm going to show up. I stopped doing the martial art. I decided I was done with it. But at the time I was committed to it, I didn't honor the commitment. And that's the issue. That makes sense? Yeah, this is a big way for working with spirit. Honor your commitments, care for what is in your life. Give care for what's in your life. Ask what it needs. Treat it with kindness. This is how you work with spirit, the child. And then you have spirit, the parent inside. So we're kind of putting it in two different ways, but it's how we perceive it. What we perceive outside of us needs our care. What we perceive as inside of us can give care. That's a way to put it. It's all in a sense the same thing, but we tend to put it the opposite. We tend to say what's inside me needs care, what's outside me takes care of it. And that's, we're just flipping that. What's inside me can give care, what's outside me needs it. And that puts you in the power position, by the way. You're not the kid in this equation saying, oh, please take care of me. You're the God. You get to be God. If you want to be God, show up and care for your environment, care for your creation. Treat everything as though you are creating it right now. That's another thing. Yeah. And there's so many layers in all of this, which is why I have my full class on manifestation. That's 6 weeks, because as I'm saying this, it's like, you've got to honor your emotions. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to give that time. In these free talks, I do have videos that talk about that piece. For just this talk, though, ask spirit to answer your needs. Ask it the questions you have. Turn inward and then go out and play. Go out and give joy to the world, and in a genuine way. If you're not feeling joyful, well, you're something that needs care too. Like, give yourself care when you need it. But when you're trying to manifest, when you're trying to create something in your life, don't do it from a point of, if I do this and this and this, you'll give it to me, right? Because that's how most things are done. And it's a severely limiting practice. Tune in, click into spirit, Get neutral about it, and ask what's needed. Just ask what's needed. If it's to sit and drink tea, it's to sit and drink tea. If it's to go jogging, it's to go jogging. If it's to get a lot of work done on your computer, it's to do that. But the needs will speak for themselves when you get neutral, and getting into spirit gets you neutral, because then you're not in this I want to, I don't want to, I should, I shouldn't, all the equations of the brain where it goes this and it fights itself. It's like, oh, I need to sit still right now, I need to whatever. And then just get simple. It's I keep talking about, I talk a lot about Forrest Gump and manifestation, because that movie is a very I think it struck a chord with people, because it was like a how to manifest 101. Get too stupid to know better. And just happen to be really good at everything you do. That was the other piece. But um, you know, he started running because it was time to run. He started playing ping pong because it was time to play ping pong. He started, he didn't think, he just did it. And that's a little bit of it. Like, tune inward, listen to spirit, and then you'll kind of have an inner knowing of, I need to or I don't. When I talk about action, I talk a lot about getting outside of the formula of do this, get that, getting inside the, if I feel this way, if I'm showing up this way, what am I inspired to do? And if you get into spirit, that neutral state, what does it inspire? What does that lead you to? Invite it forward. Yeah, invite forward the spirit within. Okay, any other questions? Anything else anyone wants to ask? Okay, so the class I'm teaching that goes deeper into all of this, brings it more fully together, the inner, the outer, the formula of manifestation, is how manifestation really works. It was originally called Beyond Positive Thinking, How Manifestation Really Works, but that was a really long title. And I'm gonna write, yes, I will email this recording. My hope, I was really working so that this would be valuable, like quality enough to put on YouTube. I don't know if we got there. I will, however, email this recording or send the link to the YouTube video for anyone who asks for it. And the link there is for more information about the manifestation class I'm teaching Saturdays, 10 a.m. starting January 16th. It's a little bit of a, let's actually make 2021 better than 2020. let's not just hope it gets better, let's actually make it better. So I actually had a pretty good 2020. I have empathy for the people who did not, a great deal of empathy. And this is my toolbox for how to have a good year, even if the world's having a bad year. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, thoughts before we go? All right. Well, thank you all. This is always a joy. So just to recap, the world's a child and a reflection, and there's an inner well inside you that can meet the needs of both. And show up in action, treat others the way you want to be treated. Start to see, this is another good one, see others as embodying that which you wish to create in yourself. Like, see them as wealthy and abundant, see them as joyful, see them as peaceful, see the people around you as having the qualities you want. And you'll start to perceive it in your life. You'll start to perceive it as within you. And then care for what is ever in your life, ask what it needs, and tune inward and give whatever your pain is, whatever your struggle is, to the spirit inside. All right. Thank you very much. Delightful as always. I'll be here in 2 weeks. So not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. And we'll be into January then. That's exciting. New year. Okay. Bye, everyone.